Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Streams. Yeah, been out for over a month now. But yeah, it was a little bit of good time off. Didn't get to do as much of the game stuff on my time off as I would have liked to, but I did get to do a few things and mainly kind of around AI, and I'll show those shortly, and also a little bit kind of refactoring some of the metahumans, just because I ran into some issues with um, with some of the animations and kind of refactoring the ALS animations onto the metahumans skeletons because there's like different sizes of skeletons and that kind of threw me off for a little bit. So and also kind of looking at showing a little bit more of the story, right, behind this. Heavens, hey, welcome. Yeah, it was really good. It was I highly recommend Vacation to everybody. If you can, it's very healing, so to speak. But yeah, let's get into some of the updates and then maybe I'll do a little bit of the work on the level design, at least what I was planning to do today. You might have noticed from previous streams that I've placed some of these, and also let me know if the audio is or like the audio is coming in okay. Also for like the if the music on the background music is too loud. So you might have noticed from before that I had a couple of like kind of military vehicles in this area here. So what this area oh hey, happy birthday, heavens. um yeah, it's you know what, you should get one if you can. Like I said, I'm lucky that I was able to get one. I know a lot of people might not be in that position, but yeah, it's definitely good to have. So yeah, as I was saying, you might have remembered, like we were working around this area, and I placed a couple of these military vehicles here. So one thing that I can also share with you is that this area is a little bit of a focus on um, the um, I've mentioned, there's some survivors on these island on this island, not island, but on in this location, right? And there's you're gonna be involved in having to rescue a few of them. Something that we looked at before, kind of trying to get them out of a basement, get them in the car, and drive them away. So, but what about the rest of the survivors? So, some of them have been captured by the bad guys, and this is kind of a camp that they were put in, and the way that I wanted to build this is also kind of having it surrounded, this being like kind of a formal. This is actually a pack on the marketplace. It's a water treatment facility, and I felt it worked out pretty well from the already built design built standpoint because you know, as if I was to look at it from like a camp where the survivors were kind of rounded up and brought here um, to be taken to the next spot, which I'll I'll reveal a little later on. That's part of kind of the story itself. Um, so they'd be uh, kept here, and I've tried to prototype a little bit of an area, and mostly like around here. And so this area and underneath these kind of um, warehouses, would house some of these people that were brought here by the um, uh, of that wall. You know what? Yes, in this case, it is beautiful. And it was nice to find because I kept on going around I think it's called like the blueprints package, and they have this like pretty nicely built interior, and also these kind of I wouldn't call them sci-fi-ish, but kind of a little futuristical type of looking walls of made of concrete. So, since I wanted to have this area here being kind of let's call it like a prison, right, for the survivors, um, where kind of the bad guys were keeping everybody in this town. Um, that's why I went with this, so also from the inside, I think the design of this looks pretty decent. I mean, I'm probably gonna try maybe a couple of other materials for this, but so far this is it looks the reason that I wanted to use because it looks imposing, right? It's kind of like an unescapable type of area, and so that was one of the reasons. So yeah, I've started laying out some of the just to see how it looks like, kind of the fencing around this area. So this will be a warehouse housing some of these survivors that were captured and brought here. And of course, you'll have like kind of the guards around here, and I'll show you a little bit of um, the stealth mechanism that I was working on, and being the use of distractors, right? So, kind of trying to distract one of the guards, to kind of get by him if you so choose to do like a more of a stealth approach. So yeah, this area, that's what this area is going to serve. And I'll jump into my test level and show you how the distractor works, um, and then we'll continue on with this and continue building the surrounding wall around us. Um, I'll see if I can find something for a gate. I don't have anything in particular at the moment. I have a couple of things that I'm thinking of using for like a kind of an imposing gate here at the entrance. But yeah, that's kind of like from the story point. As far as the level design, I was working on kind of adding a little bit more of the water features that we've had on this end over here. Let me see where that is. It was somewhere around here. So if you recall from last time, kind of we built this little ravine type thing, and with the water feature coming off the mountain here. So I felt that was like kind of just a singular. Where's the kind of the water feeding into all these other water bodies? So I've started playing around a little bit with a source coming off of this. I've created this kind of little bit of a mountain area here. So coming off of that, there'll be this kind of thing here with another bridge. Right now, like this kind of water body is just poorly placed, so I need to adjust that. But that would be kind of another water stream going down through here, and feeding into this water body here. And oh, hi Miles, welcome. By the way, Miles is working on something Outlast video game, and Miles, if you have anything to share, please do. As always, you're welcome to share it um, in the channel, in the Discord channel, because some of the things that you sent me are looking really awesome. So yeah. So with that said, I might want to have like another kind of water feature coming off to this side because there's like another water body over here. But I'm still kind of trying to work that out and see how I can kind of make it look. I'm kind of thinking just kind of crossing the landscape through here. But that's just kind of just a plan at the moment. All right, well, let me jump into the test level, and I'll show you what I mean by the distractor. Also, along with the distractor, so that was kind of a lot of discovery that I ended up doing on the AI behavior trees type of work, because there's also a little bit of another feature that you might notice that I was able to get in. It's not perfect, but I just wanted to share it with you guys um, and see how you think. Okay, so what's going to happen is, let's see, jump into game mode here. Oh yeah, so as far as the um, one thing that I wanted to do with the metahumans, as you see, they have for starters, retargeting the ALS proved to be a little bit of an issue, especially around the arms. Like the arms were like kind of just sit, it looked like they were sit on their laps. So if anybody is interested in that, I can show you what I ended up doing with the retargeter. But now, I have different, also different heights for the metahumans. So they behave just like before. Once you approach them, they will like focus on you, and you probably remember this from before. Oops. If you're at crouch, they look at you. They look a little menacing, but you know the health would tilt towards you, and I think we've seen that before. All right, so when it comes to an enemy, let me show you the distractor piece. So the way I have the distractor distractor set up is just like you throw like an object. So there's like a kind of a two-stage. You press G once, and then you get the kind of the targeting, and then you can press H to cancel. Um, I couldn't figure out I can also do it like on release, but if you want to cancel the throw, be it be it a knife or like the distractor piece, or maybe in future projects like a grenade. Um, if you hold down G and then you release it, um, then it's actually going to release the grenade and throw it, but I don't want to do that. So I kind of did it as a double tap. So you press it once, you get the kind of the predictive arc, so to speak. And then when you throw it again, it releases. And then this guy is kind of going and investigating. And then if you throw it again, oops, but he saw me. Um, so one thing that he's doing, um, and this is a bug at the moment, that if he's in that state of going to investigate something, um, even though he's pointing at me, the variable is not being updated to say that, I can see you, so I'm going to engage. So let me try doing this again, and I'll show you what happens when he does attack. So now he's attacking, and um, what's going to happen is when he runs out of bullets, he goes into cover. And while he's in cover, unfortunately, I think at the moment he doesn't have any extra magazines. So what he will do is he will like reload, and then um, what I'm going to follow up on the behavior tree is, once he reloads, he's going to attack you again. So that's kind of some of the some of the updates on the AI, which kind of actually took a little bit longer than expected, because it's a little, I wouldn't say convoluted, but sometimes kind of hard to follow along, especially when you have let me show you a little bit of the behavior tree. So especially when you have things like these, like the base conditions, this has always been a little confusing to me. It's like on result change, what to abort is itself, is it this node or the ones below it? And then, when you set the query or the key, um, do you set it, kind of to block entry into this node or to allow entry into this node? So yeah, the behavior tree is getting a little bit bigger, but yeah, I still have to work on this side here where he can see the player is running an EQS query to find cover, then running into cover, and then getting into cover. So this part I still have to work on it a little bit. But basically what it would do is it would also check to see if he's in cover, and if it's out of bullets, then it's going to try to reload the weapon and then resume his chase. So I kind of disconnected this for now because it was behaving a little odd. So yeah, but let's try a little bit more with the distractor because that was kind of interesting, and it's a pretty cool mechanic. So if you throw something, he's gonna kind of head on over there, and if you throw it again, oh, now he saw me. So it's kind of lost once he sees you. He just engages in combat. So let's see if we can send him over there, and then send him over there, and then send him over there. There he goes. So it's a little bit of a way to um, to get some of the enemies out of your way, and that was a mechanic that took me a little bit of of getting used to it again, so to speak. And also the throw mechanic is not the easiest to understand sometimes. And of course, like there's like the physics of the thing involved in this, so there's quite a few things going on. But yeah, that's um, in a nutshell. Those are kind of some of the updates. I wish there was more. Um, I've made some small updates to the terrain, like this layer here has some like rocks on top of it, just so that it helps with kind of it's not doesn't seem as flat. Also, some of these terrain layers, once you move too far away, they're gonna change their tiling based on the camera distance, so it doesn't look like like the tile is not that repeating as much. Let's see what else. As far as there were like kind of like the bird elements. I managed to have some of these like crow-looking birds. They kind of look like crows. I'm not entirely sure, but they're kind of the dark feathers. So somewhat, but it's just a Niagara effect. I believe are oh yeah, the heavens, they're like a Niagara effect, and they're coming. They're actually in the Rural Australia pack, which I believe was available for free a while back. Not sure if it's actually one of those permanently free packages, but yeah, what I did was the bird itself is I think it's like a cockatoo, like one of those parrot birds, and it's completely white, and it's got, kind of like the feather in the back of the head. So I had to like bring that into Blender and tweak it a little bit so it looks more like a crow, or more not like an exotic bird. So um, yeah, it turned out okay. Like they seem to look like like a crow. I think, where is it? Yeah, so somewhat looks, definitely doesn't look exotic, like an exotic bird. And so that was a little bit of fun to have. And so yeah, I'm hoping, by next week to refine this the way the what do you call it? Like the enemy, the way the enemy is going into cover and reloading. So basically that part of the behavior tree I just shown. Uh, no, actually I haven't seen any change in frame rate. Nothing drastic. I think the biggest change is when it comes to adding like the well, adding the metahumans is also fine. It's just when the metahumans have the kind of the high complexity hair. Um, so what I do with those is I just change the hair from I think the hair strands. There's like the really LOD zero for hair, which it looks really amazing. Um, but you know, it's more I think for you know movie type render stuff. And but yeah, I haven't noticed when they're like this, you know, like bold. I haven't noticed any drop, and you know they have quite a lot of bones. But so that performed really well. So I think for hair, I'm just gonna either use like um like the bold hair, which is I believe kind of like a card, or just really short hair uh, for um, for the women. And you know, like the men are gonna have like a couple of the main characters with beards, and it's only for the metahumans is only gonna be like the main characters that are gonna be you know metahumans. All the other ones are just going to be like either laying around or you know you're not going to be able to interact with them and or see their face up close. So I don't need that much of a detail. You know, they're probably going to be sleeping on the side or like just kind of mumbling to themselves. You know, like some of those idle, simple idle animations. And yeah, for the metahumans, only going to be like the main characters. But but yeah, so far and I haven't been, you know, I haven't been adding a lot of extra stuff from from the last time I did the stream, and so that's why I haven't noticed any frame drop. The only stuff that I would have you know I would expect a frame drop would be from like you know the characters, and I haven't added too many of them in like the main level as of yet, and so. I'm still debating on how to show them. Like, I think, for example, like I was playing Far Cry the other day, and you know, there's like all these random encounters as you drive along the way, along the road, and I think those are they start showing up once once the player gets close to that area. You know, like say for example, if any of you has played Far Cry, you know, there's like encounters where you know the cult members are holding up a hostage or something like that. So I think those just show up based on how close you are to that area where that AI is. And I think that's what I'm going to be doing as well, you know, kind of just doing like a timed event um, where as you get closer to a certain area that's populated with kind of the bad guys, um, they show up as you get closer, right? So, for example, let me actually, because I think this was all that I wanted to show in here. Let me go back to the persistent map. Um, yeah, and you know the collision boxes as well. That's another thing. So yeah, I think as far as like performance drop, the only thing that would affect it might be the AI. And of course, you know, Far Cry is on a whole different level world than what I have in terms of the amount of NPCs and you know enemies and you know different actions that happen. You know, like the NPCs driving around and so yeah, that complexity is way above what I have. I would definitely love to get like an insight onto that Dunia engine because it performs amazing. You know, like I have a pretty like I would keep on mentioning this, but I have a pretty worn out machine, not worn out, but pretty outdated. So, you know, being able to run that as well as it does, I think that's awesome. And you know, like a really good to get a really good frame rate and you know lighting quality and everything. So I think that engine is quite well put together. Okay, well let's continue on making this wall around the compound here or like this water facility turned prison. And because this, building stuff around the world is always fun. Yeah, so a GTX 1660, um, I'm not sure where, so I have a 1070. I'm not sure where the 1660. I think it's about it might be around um the same performance, if I recall correctly, versus TX 1070. Yeah, so I think they're right around the same for performance wise. 24% extra. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I was trying to find something at the moment, but I think that's kind of an overall type of thing because looking at the difference in the frame rate, it highly depends on the game, from what I can tell. Like Fortnite, it's 101 to 116, so that's definitely that's not really 24%. It's more like, you know, 10, 15%. So yeah, and that's interesting, like the 1660 costing, well, it's a newer generation, right? So uh, it will. Um, oh, you got a 1660S? Yeah, I mean, 1070 might be a little older, but I guess, it's still, that's the thing, it still kind of holds its own, so to speak. Um, I definitely can't play it. I think I was trying to get to play on like ultra setting, on like the highest settings in in Far Cry, and it started to struggle. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll play it the way it is. Hey, a bad game dev. So are you talking about the world? The world is 2 by 2 kilometers. It's not very big because I'm one person. But yeah, thank you for asking. Thank you for joining. All right, let's try and surround this area with this kind of wall system here. Um, The one thing that I did really like about this wall is these kind of like braces, these kind of supports, because I didn't really want to have just a completely flat surface going across. So I just wanted to, have these kind of supports in there as well. So let's try and position these as well as we can. Oops. Did I not spin this to, oh, it's 100 and, let's do this properly. That's at 90. This is at negative 180. I'm not sure why I'm trying to spin these when I can just grab them from here. There we go. So like I said, probably for this wall, I might redo these uh, three meshes to um, to have like a different material on the surface. Even though I kind of like this one, it's kind of a couple of different concrete surfaces on this, so it gives it a little bit of variety rather than changing it to something that's the same material across the entire surface. I do like that kind of split. All right, I'm actually just gonna hide the vegetation. It's kind of getting in the way of selecting things around here. And playing a little bit with these kind of having these areas where like kind of they extend in and out. I think that helps with not having it be completely flat. And one thing that I was just thinking about it just now, um, like at these joints, um, I'm actually just gonna bring these together, and these are just gonna be like an extra, like an added design. It's not gonna be part of it as much. So let's try and see how that would turn out. So that way from the back, it's also joined together. All right, let's see how we can kind of place this right around where this joint is over there. There's not one on that side, which is kind of, like I'm looking at this connecting line here. So on that side, there isn't one. I'm probably becoming a little too picky. Hey, Grawl, welcome. Hello. How are you? Yeah, so I might just kind of keep it like that. I don't think it's too jarring. There's no connecting line down through here. Um, this is one of those things that it just irks my OCD sometimes. It's like, do I want to have that in there? Do I not? I kind of liked it with it. And it's such a minor thing that, um, but like having it like that, and then I just wanted to show you what I'm going for. And on this side, also having that line. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. So, um, I shown it earlier just a little bit, I think right before you joined, and one of the main changes is right around um, the um, yeah, I'm becoming too picky with this. So this area here being like a type of I wouldn't call it prison, but kind of a camp where the survivors in this town were rounded up and they were brought here by the bad people, by the negative characters, and they were kept here for something, and your part of your stuff is uh, to get in here and help them out, along with some of the other survivors that managed to escape and that they hid in this bunker. Um, so Bad Game Dev, it's an action adventure type of game. Single player. It's not a multiplayer. It's not a horror game, though there is some aspects of the game that seem a little grim. But yeah, it's not a zombie slash monsters type of game. So yeah. Enemy football. I want to know how to rotate first person gun with a cable. Is that what you're saying? Rotate first person gun with a cable. I'm reading that right. Um, so um, so yeah, a Bad Game Dev. That was just kind of really quick, very quick description. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna have to get over my little thing with the line here because I'm not gonna be able to, match them all as I wanted it to. So yeah, I might just bring them all together, these sections. So that way I don't have to worry about kind of the back part of it. But Graal, some of the updates were mainly around AI, um, like having the ability to use a distractor object, also the AI being able to cover, reload a gun if they run out of bullets once they, start uh, getting into getting into an argument with you. And so that was kind of the some of the main updates. Also, not sure if you were following me before, but also got the um, the metahumans worked out, so that the ALS animations are working properly with them. And so now, whenever um, the metahumans move around, they'll just use the ALS animations, which is also really helpful. Let me try something here. I'm kind of wondering how this might look if it's at an angle for this corner here. I kind of like that at an angle. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. Gonna keep it like that for now. All right, so let's continue on with the wall here. And yeah, definitely liking Lumen. Grawl, yeah, same as me. But I think, like I said, I'm definitely hoping to have a pre-alpha this summer. So that's why I'm trying to finish off some of these areas, just to either block them out, so people can't get into them, um, or and at least have everything in the world in place. Even though, like, for example, you might not be able to enter this in the first like alpha version of it, but that's what I wanted to have. Like the bunker is in place, the town is almost in place, all the other kind of motel slash shopping centers, um, those are also in place, like that warehouse. Um, and the only thing that I still need to get in place is kind of the surrounding this point of interest, this factory with this wall, and the the edges of the world is they're almost in place, uh, so you can't like walk off the world. Basically, that's another thing that is on my mind, and I think everything else, the one thing that might not work with the alpha, or at least I might not have ready, is the ability to save and like properly save. Like saving the mission, saving the right now the saves are the save that I have in place is really basic. It just saves like the player and its stats. But I also wanna, and oh, actually it also saves the mission. The only thing is that I also want to save like the other NPCs in the world, and so that's why I'm thinking I'm not sure if I'll be able to have the the save in place for the alpha. But again, it's a pre-alpha, so mainly testing is going to be around being able to complete like some of the basic missions in the beginning, and not falling through the world, starting the game, like the plane sequence, and being able to choose where to fall, and starting from that location. Even there might be some small combat encounters with the enemies. So that's what I'm focused on. But yeah, I think for the alpha, this area here will not be enterable because this has quite a few more other interactions with NPCs and enemies, and it might be a little bit too much of a stretch to get that in. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, thank you so much for asking. Um, I think outside of my work schedule, this is the main thing that I'm spending time on. And yeah, I think definitely more productive in a winter, because it's always good to go outside and spend some time outside. And I think I've been doing a little bit more of that, um, now during summer. But yeah, definitely this is kind of the fun part of 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 game development. Definitely the level design. I definitely enjoy it. And the um, the rest of it is also fun. It's just like it takes it takes a little bit longer to kind of you know get your engine started, right? So when it comes to like working on the AI and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'm just gonna remove some of this stuff that's on the outskirts here. Yeah, and of course, part of the cool part about having a wall here around this is that there will be kind of sections or entrances, either through like pipes and that would allow you to enter this facility, through like pipes or like cracks in the wall. And I have some of that mechanic in place where you can like sneak through like a little small opening. So looking forward to kind of make use of that as well. And I think Heavens, if you're still around, I believe you went to 5.2, if I'm not mistaken. I think for whatever reason, I think I remember seeing one of your videos in 5.2. How how is it running so far? Oh yeah, 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 Heavens, that was a question for you. I was just wondering if I'm not mistaken, if you are using 5.2 or not. Hmm. Oh, they already have a 5.3 in the pipeline? That's awesome. Yeah. So you might be right. I'm probably gonna see about waiting um until 5.3 is out. That's a really good point. All right, it's starting to look like that Maze Runner movie. All right, well let's finish off with this wall here. And I also want to finish off this little road here that's going to link into here. Wait, 5.4? I guess I have to check their releases. Yeah, that's the other the other downside. Work has been also pretty busy these past couple of weeks. So I think that's sometimes the other casualty, like the game is a casualty of work. Yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, so they just get him off of GitHub. I can see that. Oh, come on, I didn't want to move that. Oh yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Let me know um w- what you find out because using metahumans, I'm kind of interested to see if if there will be any kind of improvements like that. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the way they perform, so don't get me wrong, but anything improved is always welcomed. All right, we're getting there. Yeah, but that's the thing. And I think with the 5 series, upgrading from, 5.2 to 5.4 should be pretty seamless. I think the farther you get from, like if you're still on 4.27 and once you go to 5.6 or something like that, I'm not sure if that's going to be as seamless. I wouldn't see why not, but the way I do it is always just, you know, push all my changes to Git, then update or, upgrade to 5 dot something. And if it doesn't work, just revert the changes. Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, I can't recall having too many issues. So I think on that regards, they're doing a pretty good job. I mean, I think a really good job at it. Um, all right, looks like somehow luckily I might be in the right spot with this. Like I was thinking that I was gonna either like come short of this or go way past this line, but I think I'm pretty close. Let's see, that's in a pretty good spot there. And I'm kind of placing this, let's actually place it every 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So one can be here. Try and also place this kind of support somewhere in the middle. So one would kind of be right there. Since one is going to be here in the corner, can try and place one somewhere towards the middle of this, which would be around here. Or maybe actually let's just push it to this line like that. Okay. There we go. So about 3 should be fine right there. Or like a Squid Game arena. I was trying to look at this like, oh well, I'm not sure if anybody has watched that show. Oh, alarms. Yeah, yeah. I think there's definitely going to be. Um, I mean, oh, you're thinking of alarms? No, 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 no. That's it's not like that. No. I was trying to to remember what the alarms were. What the alarms were. Uh, when you were getting into that into like a camp, they would like trigger the alarm and call for backup. So there'd be like some more NPCs coming to yeah, yeah, no, it's not gonna be it's not gonna have that. There might be um a number of NPCs spawned if or coming to investigate things, but yeah, no, it's not gonna call, other vehicles. Yeah, there might be like an alert inside of the compound. So it's um I think that's the only one. Hey, Omiyaki, welcome, welcome. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's just, with Far Cry, if I was to kind of reference Far Cry, um, there's that mechanic of them coming down the street. There's like, oh, there's there, the help is coming. Help, we've sent backup or something. I'm not sure what the audio is, but yeah, since the enemies are gonna not gonna be driving around, um, I mean, I don't want to think of how I would make them get to this location from more like, it's faked anyways, but it's kind of um, how they get to this location to assist. Hey, Funky Pants, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I've been on a vacation. I was planning on streaming last week, but I had some issues because I actually got back from vacation last week, and for whatever reason, my um, this wireless router that I have, kept going up and down with the speed. So I sent it in and got a replacement. Yeah, so it was vacation. I did get to do a little work on AI on vacation, like distractors and taking cover. I just need to refine it a little bit. So, refactoring the metahumans to get the animations from ALS to work better with them, to properly target those animations. So there was more like housekeeping work type thing, aside from the stuff that I've done with um, with the enemy AI. Yeah, so Heaven's extra enemy AI would be like changing the exactly. It was, you got this mission, so I totally get, kind of getting reinforcements, but I think the reinforcements are just gonna come from inside the camp. Maybe one of these barracks would be like a spawn point to spawn like, five extra enemies or something like that. But outside of that, just to make it a little bit more challenging. But they wouldn't be like coming down the road. Hey. Where did I travel? Yeah, so I went back home. I'm Romanian, so I went to visit family. And I was hoping I was gonna get to do some streaming from over there, but you know, um, it's whenever you visit family, there's like so many other things that come up, and they're gonna end up doing that that I didn't get the chance to do as much work as I was hoping to. But it was good. It was good seeing family. Yeah, yeah, I went home. And usually when I do, it's kind of like, okay, let's visit the dentist, because you know you can afford the dentist in Europe. Um, you know, let's visit some friends as much as I could, the family, and then I had to work from home anyways, because and that kind of threw off my schedule, and threw my schedule off very kind of badly, just because you know I had to work at nights and um, yeah. Oh wow, hey heavens. Oh, Zimbabwe should be awesome. Like you know, uh, it's I think it's so much more interesting to see than me going to me going to Romania. It's there. I mean, like I don't have any stories to tell, right? Well, yeah, and that's interesting because my supervisor he always takes trips to Romania, and he really likes it. Like he goes there and stays there for some time and work from there as well. So yeah, I guess there was definitely something that he found attractive to it. So I mean, the cost of living is a lot lower, a lot cheaper than in the States. So I think that's part of it as well. Yeah, so Miyaki, this is one of the areas in the game where the enemies are holding some of the survivors prisoner. So one of your missions would be to get in here and help rescue them. Thank you for asking. Okay, well, this actually seemed to have paired pretty well with the number of pylons to kind of spread them out on every third concrete block. Okay, so that turned out pretty well. I'm quite satisfied with the emplacement of that. It definitely looks like the Maze Runner. Um, and at least I feel it definitely looks like the Maze Runner compound or you know area. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to figure out um, a way to kind of the gates, um, you know, for this location. Turn, flip this around like so. Oh, an enemy installation like that. Well, it's there for you to make one, so it's pretty easy as you can tell. So Omiyake, I'm definitely gonna publish it on. I'm definitely gonna go with Steam, you know, because it's so convenient. Everybody's using it. So so yeah, there we go. And this one, I can place it right up against this section here, like that. All right, that makes a pretty good entrance there. Let's create a couple of more. Oh yeah, Funky Pants. I'm planning on getting back into the schedule of streaming, every weekend at least once, Saturday and Sunday at best. But yeah, definitely doing it one of the days. I usually just post it a little bit ahead on on YouTube and Discord. So, all right. So that I think that does it for one of the entrances. I think the other one look a little bit better. So Miyake, I am not on 5.2 just yet. I'm still on 5.1.1. But we'll definitely, I definitely plan to upgrade to 5.2. Just not yet. Still, kind of holding out, so to speak. But yeah, I do plan on upgrading to it. Or like Heavens was saying, maybe hold off until 5.3 is out if it's gonna, I think definitely I'm gonna upgrade to one of those. I've tried 5.2 just because I wanted to see that demo with the what is it, the Electric Dreams, I think it was, just to see how that new procedural thing is working. Or yeah, Heavens exactly 5.4 for MetaHuman. Hopefully it's going to be something really really good. But um, but in all honesty, um, I didn't see. Uh, I'm probably not going to be a user of the procedural st type type thing. Maybe for small things, but I already I already do that with this with some of the tools, which is a lot simpler to use. Like I think I've shown it a little bit. Like that the fence tool, right? That I'm using for fences. I'm using it for let's see, for stuff like this, you know, just to place this stuff on the edge. This is also used with that IA scatter tool. So I think it it works out pretty well. And I've seen some people testing out that PC I think it's PCC, I think is what it's kind of the short version of it, or the acronym. And they're doing the same thing with it. Like I have these kind of reeds along the edge of the lake, and yeah. So in the end, it's another procedural tool, and I I don't really want to have the overhead of having to learn it, and then you know maybe using it almost for the same purpose. Um, And well, yeah, I mean, Heavens, I think you have a lot more procedural content than what I have, um, with with having so many worlds to populate, and they're probably going to be different from each other. So I think it's definitely a powerful tool. I really liked looking at it, but I'm also thinking of, well, how much time is it going to take me to learn it? So yeah, that's another thing to consider. And yeah, when Fab comes out, I'm actually curious to see when I think it's somewhere sometime due this year, if I'm not mistaken. But that should be interesting. Why is it? Oh, it's preparing some shaders. Okay. So that should be pretty interesting to have. Yeah. Oh yeah, I would love to. I've seen some of the videos. I don't think I've seen the Frozen World, unless I might have missed it. Huh, why can't I place a spline? Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I remember seeing one of the um like the desert. I'm not sure if it was a desert world with the crystals and the jungle, I believe, and or that was more like the alpine. It seemed like there were like more pines. Okay. Why can't I place a spline? There we go. I was having some trouble placing the spline points. I'm not sure why. Oh, that was an asteroid. Okay. Yeah, very cool. Big shout out to what you're doing. Um, so you guys should check Heaven's Disciples games. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, I just wish, I had a bigger community, but yeah, I think every little bit counts. All right, let's make this entrance here worthy of a game. There it goes. All right, so segments. Let's see. I'm gonna try and grab these guys and the road. The segments, blind mesh. Place that on there. And then I think 500 for the half width. That should make it okay. Oh yeah, thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, I mean slowly but surely. I wish I have the time to make more videos. I think it'd be um you know it might have more impact, if there were be more tutorial videos. Um, but yeah, there's always that time constraint. But I do have one of them planned, uh, like really shortly, and it's related to, I think I've shown it before, related to the dynamic credits at the end of the game, which I use. So I'm hoping that might be useful to um, to some as well. Well, I think if you just start with like this, I haven't, I don't, it's only kind of recently somewhat that I've started streaming and at least try to stream on a schedule. But it's I think just starting with like a tutorial and um, might kind of remove some of the shyness, so to speak. Does that make sense? Yeah, because it's always like, um, for myself included, I don't really like hearing myself talk. And luckily it's not an echo in my headphones that are like I can hear it. But um, yeah, I can totally see it. All right, let's see, where do we have this one and this one and one nope, and one of these. So yeah, I would definitely love to see it live. Kind of some of the fly-throughs and like the world transition. That's something awesome. Yeah, definitely do. And I think you can um not sure, maybe you can set it to private, for like the kind of the first tries, just to see how it goes, how you feel about it. Yeah. Huh. Half width. Why do I feel like somehow the roads are much narrower? Oh yeah, Omiyaki, enjoy dinner. I will be around for I won't probably go for the full 2 hours today. So I might be around for another 10, 15 minutes, and I'll probably have lunch as well. But we'll definitely do my best to have another stream tomorrow, around the same time, 11 Eastern. Oh yeah, that's really odd. I'm wondering why. Um, there we go. That's much better. That fits a little bit better in. Oh, I I definitely have nothing uh, that's like, you know, that hasn't been done before. Let me put it that way. I think um, I think the thing of it is, you can find uh, everything that I built. It's already out there. I think is when so if you think about it, think about it like a kind of a Lego type of machine, right? You The pieces are already there. I think what is different from project to project is how you put them together. Um, so it's um, I think that part it's like I said, I'm probably gonna have things done differently with the same pieces that somebody else has. So Star Citizen type of game. Oh, so are you thinking of doing something like that? Because I mean, like I said, anything that I have built here, if people have any questions about things, I can definitely share what I have done, for it. Oh yeah, that sounds like a very interesting type of idea. Um, because I think I've followed Star Citizen since they came out with it, and it was with CryEngine at the time. And I was using CryEngine, so I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. You get like a kind of a huge studio that's using CryEngine. That's that's a big deal. So maybe more people are going to use CryEngine, and people are going to know more about it. Uh, but again, the project kept on stalling, and I mean, I think people really already know how backed up it was. Um, yeah, there you go. So we know the struggle when it comes to that. But I had a lot of excitement about it, just from the aspect of, okay, it's built with CryEngine, so um, you never know. There'd be more people using it, more things invested into it. But I kind of realized, and I think you did too, that that's not really how it goes. So um, yeah, but I think it'd be really interesting to have something like that built in Unreal. Omiyaki, I am Romanian. It was a carrot on a stick. Oh my God, I love that. Oh God, I haven't heard that being used in forever. Carrot on a stick. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I think CryEngine has a lot of potential. It's just that it's it's still an in-house tool, you know. Um, that's what it is. It's very hard for indies to get onto it, you know. And of course, the community is tiny, so the marketplace is non-existent. Um, I mean, they have a few things on there, but yeah, it's nowhere near. Oh, it's Romania, Omiaki. I'm not sure if you heard of it. Most people haven't, but yeah. Do you think it would be a bad look for me to refuse to reveal everything due for the Galaxy Y game? Oh, d- don't worry about being off track. I mean, that's the whole reason of this. It's kind of a two-way discussion as well. So you're saying, do you think if it would be a bad look for me to refuse to reveal everything I do for Galaxy Y Gaming? So I'm not showing everything I'm doing, or at least not at the moment from the story point of things. But I am showing as much as I can, and hopefully, just by showing things, you get interest, and I'm thinking it's totally fine. You don't have to like reveal your entire hand, so to speak. Um, right? All right. Well, now we have the road as well going into here, which I think that looks good. I'm gonna need to fix this particular mesh there. I see some issues with the normals, I believe. Or I think it might be just the face normals on the actual mesh that are kind of bad. So yeah, I'll probably offline sometime this afternoon. I'll finish off kind of the top edge of this, which I think adding these items, these pieces here looks decent enough. And I think I can just kind of continue with them on top of that to kind of make it look like so. And um, and then at the bottom to hopefully find like a kind of a bigger gate and and have that to show for tomorrow. So with that being said, I think that's going to be it for me for today. Um, so thank you so much, Bad Game. So right now, it's oh, a security box area at the gate. Yeah, definitely. Well, so there will be one of the other kind of enemies in the game is going to be that armored car that's going to be shooting at you if it sees you. So especially around some of these entrances, you will not be able to enter from here. So that's another way to kind of direct the player to a different approach. So bad game, is it optimized though? At the moment, I think it's actually running pretty well. I'm running it on, and thinking this is also with Lumen enabled. So some of these scenes run at around 50, 45, 50 frames in the editor. On high settings. So my rig is about um, I'm not even sure how old it is, and probably the 5 to 10 years old. It's like a 1070, like first gen 1070 with a one of those i5s from like 2010s, I believe. Um, so yeah, bye, Omiyaki. Good to have you. So let's see. So Heavens, what about one of those road corner blocks with a gunner? Well, that's exactly it. So I forgot to add one in here, but basically, um, oh yeah, have a good night, Omiyaki. So basically, the ones guarding those entrances are gonna be one of these bad boys here. So I already have the mechanic in place. I just need to make that fire. So I'm hoping that if not by tomorrow, but definitely by next week, um, to have one of these bad boys be able to shoot at you. Let me just place that down here. Yeah, so see, I just need to break down the mesh. And I already have the mechanic with the security camera so that this one would point towards the player, and I just need to make it shoot. So projectiles are already in place because I already have the mechanic with NPCs or like the enemies and the player shooting, so that's already in place. But and thank you, Bad Game. Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. I still have a ways to optimize it. I haven't generated like all the HLODs for all the levels, so I'm thinking I could squeeze a little bit more. If if this is without Lumen, it closes in on 60 frames per second, again in the editor. So I'll have to make a build and actually test it out to see if it performs a little bit better. Yeah, so these would be kind of like the um, let's see. Whoops, I don't want that. Let's kind of turn the wheels a little bit. And again, these are vehicles that don't move. They're just in they're in place. but they kind of look a little menacing, so that's why through here it wouldn't be um, a viable entry point. So hence some of the stealth aspects of the game. And like I was showing earlier, having that the ability to throw a distractor object and kind of mislead or send an enemy to search for something, and you can like slip by them. Um, I've wanted to have that from the beginning. Um, there were some other priorities to get the enemy to actually patrol, to go search in a spot, um, to attack you, reload, go into cover, some of those items. Warthog, hey, Spurtunky, welcome. Um, Oh, and yeah, I mean, heavens, if you're interested, I can share some of that. It's off of Ryan Laley's. Laley has a set of videos for Shooter AI, and he does go into how to implement cover. So that's what I used. I tweaked it a little bit, but again, it's a matter of how I decide to do it. Is it when you face the enemy, does he go into cover immediately, or does he start shooting at you, runs out of bullets, runs into cover, reloads, and then starts shooting at you again? Um, so yeah. Well, so if you check for there's like a playlist. He has a playlist of I think it's Shooter AI. If you can find it, let me know and I can send it to you. So Spurdunky, what's warthog run? What is that? Warthog? Warthog. How do you pronounce that? Yeah. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. I think my birds are just gonna be like these simple particles that you don't interact with. They just like fly around in some certain areas. Oh, from Halo. Oh, I see. Yeah, so that's one of the games that I think I've played like one of them like years ago, but it was like I think it was like a game that was never really, I don't know why, but my type of game, so to speak. I just didn't really get into it. Um, so yeah, yeah, I know. It's not that I'm not a fan. I enjoy watching it sometimes, but I think it's just like the weapons. I never really liked the sci-fi weapons as much. Um, And I mean, that's not to say because I play Doom. I really enjoy Doom. Not so much Eternal, but like, um, or like Wolfenstein has some sci-fi-ish weapons as well. But yeah, I don't know why, but Halo, I'm not sure if it was like the off-world type of architecture or I'm not sure what it was, but it never really caught on to me. So yeah. Well, all right, guys. So I think that's gonna be it for today. Um, I am definitely gonna have some lunch, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I'll definitely post an update if I'm not gonna be able to have any a stream, but as it sits right now, I should be able to right around the same time, around like 11ish. Um, Thank you, Heavens. And Spurdunky, I have not seen the flood in Halo. That's something that I'm gonna need to Google and look at it. Thank you for mentioning. So let's see. Oh, it's the species. Okay, that's what the name of it is. Huh. Okay. Okay. Well, maybe there's still hope for me in Halo. Well, thank you so much. I'll definitely check it out, and we should definitely catch up on Discord now that I'm back, you know. So, all right, guys. Well, again, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Like I said, uh, as it sits, I'll see you tomorrow. All right, take care, everybody.